Does gear really matter? Everyone seems to think it does. And in a way it does. You see, you can't really do creative things without the tools. Gear is just that, they're tools. They're the instruments in which we use to create. In the terms of photography, everyone seems to chase the newest lens, the newest camera, all the lenses. You know, there's the holy trinity of lenses, some say. I use 4 in my main workflow of everything I do. I use the wide angle I'm filming on right now. I use this guy, my main workhorse, the 50 to 100 millimeter. And I also tend to use this guy, a rather large wildlife lens. Is kind of my main 3, but I also tend to use the smallest little guy, the Nifty 50 as it's nicknamed, the 50mm prime. Those are the 4 lenses I use probably the most. Of these 4, they're just tools. They're like the paintbrush I use when I create. So does gear matter? Well, yes, but only to a degree. You see, you don't want to go and chase the biggest, newest thing out there when what you have works just fine. I know some people that still use cameras just like I do that are 10 years or more in age, and they do the work just fine. If anything, it's more about knowing how to use the tools and the gear that you have than constantly upgrading to the newest thing. You see, camera brands, Canon, Sony, Nikon, and all the others out there will have you think that the newest camera has more megapixels and therefore better images. And to a degree, that is true, but it's also more of how you use those megapixels. Most of the time, people tend to get that wrong. People are always wanting the newest thing, similar to what I was mentioning in a previous video of the cell phones. We're not buying the newest cell phone every single year because they make phone calls. We're buying them for things like the camera. In terms of camera and lenses, we're not buying the newest camera every so number of years because it takes photos. We're buying it because we seem to be in this loop, this consumer loop of having to have the newest, biggest thing. You don't really need the newest, biggest thing, however. You just need what works for you. And if upgrading to the newest sports lens, or the newest wildlife lens, or the newest street photography lens, or portrait lens, or any number of things works for you, then go at it. Who am I to say what you do with your own money? But realistically, all you need is what works for you. For me, it's those lenses I showed, and the one that's on my camera. For others, it might be a set of prime lenses. For others, it might be only one lens. It all really depends. Sometimes it may not even be a lens. It might just be a little action camera. Well, GoPro or Hero or Insta360 camera of sorts. Sometimes it might only be a drone. Granted, can't really fly drones nowadays. That was a very quick-lived fad in the creative space, so to speak. But it's these things that people will argue over. Oh, I shoot on a Sony, whatever the newest Sony camera is. Oh, I shoot on the newest Canon camera. Well, the newest Canon camera is a year older than the newest Sony camera, so the newest Sony camera wins. That's not the truth. So what really matters? Well, gear, at least to get you started. You need a camera or of some variety, and a handful of lenses to get what you're wanting to create. After that, it's all just optional opinion pieces. No one really needs the newest lens. No one really needs the newest camera body. But we find ourselves still purchasing them, for one reason or another. At least renting them from your nearest photography store to at least try them out. That's one thing that you could do. Try it out. See if you actually need the lens, and if you do, then try and save up and get it. Like I said, this lens here, my 50 to 100, it's my main workhorse. It lives on my camera body. It lives on the body of my Canon 80D. It is from Sigma. It is a 1.8 aperture all the way through, and it is an amazing lens. I absolutely love it and the photos I get with it. Sometimes though I want a little wider, so I go with the one I'm filming on right now, the 18 to 35. Sometimes I want to challenge myself though, and I'll use the prime lens, just the 50mm. On a crop body sensor of my Canon 80D, it's more like an 85mm. It gets the job done well enough, which is good, and when I'm out challenging myself for wildlife, that's when I bring out the big guy, which is not set up to be on a crop body, so I get the distortion, if you would, the crop in, so instead of a 150 to 600, it's closer to like a 200 to 960 or something like that. I'm not entirely sure what the math is off the top of my head, but I get some phenomenal photos with it. Do I need to get a better wildlife lens? There's arguments that there's better out there and that I could probably upgrade. Do I need a full frame camera? Again, I would like one. There's a lot of stuff that a full frame camera can do that my current camera can't do, especially in modern day terminologies of creating. I don't necessarily need one, not for everything I do. Be nice to have, be able to open up my creativity door a little bit more, but I don't need it. Just as everyone doesn't need the newest camera or the newest lens, they just need what works for you. For a long while, I knew someone that was using just an entry-level DSLR camera. I think it was the Rebel T something, some sort of model like that, one of the Rebel models, and it did them just fine. Got some amazing photos from it. That's what they used. I used the 80D. I still use the 80D, and it's been out for 10 years now and well obsolete in terms of technology comparative to what's out now on the market. So, does the gear matter? Well, as I've said, yes, it does. You need something to create. You don't need to be chasing the newest model of lens. You don't need to be chasing the newest model of camera body. You don't need to be chasing trends and following suit with the newest lens and models and cameras and action cameras and 360 cameras and drones. You don't need to be following the trends, so to speak. So, gear really doesn't matter in that sense. It matters to get you started. What matters more is that you understand how to use the gear you have, and then you don't really need the gear. After that, it all becomes a second thought. The main thought is what makes creating and being creative easier. For me, that would probably be upgrading to a full-frame mirrorless camera. Lighter kit, more mobile, more maneuverability, and easier to pack and lug around. For others, it's staying with what they have. For others, it's just staying with a little action camera, a little GoPro or Insta360 camera of some sort, something like that. So, with that said, I personally don't think gear matters. I don't think that it's worth chasing trends and trying to find everything you can think of to get better. Because yes, you can upgrade a camera. You can upgrade a lens. But upgrading those things are not going to make you a better photographer, better videographer, better cinematographer. That all comes from the previous videos I've talked about. The intention, the observation, the desire to create, the doing it for yourself versus for others' opinions. Gear matters, but only to an extent. What matters most is the intention, the observation, and your own desire to create. I even still have some of my old kit lenses that I pull out from time to time just because they're light. They're fast enough for a lot of the things I do. They do what they need to do. Gear matters, only to an extent. What really matters is your intentions. I'll leave it there for now. And as always, thank you for watching.